What's up, people? Fired Up 197 here. It's just fired up now. That was my channel's old name. Today I have the red frame Gundam Astray. I'm going to very much have fun building this, I think. Cool as anything. Okay, this is probably the smallest kit that I have, so starting off right at the box, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sprues. So, for those of you who haven't actually ever built a kit, these kind of sprues are a slightly rubbery material used for the joints. This is the first time I've ever seen these in red. They normally come in just basic grey, so that's nice. Very nice sword. I will not lie, looking at that compared to the packaging, it is slightly misleading, but we'll figure it out. We also have, of course, the instruction manual and stickers. I also cut myself whilst I was opening this. Somehow I don't know if you can see, and there's blood on my finger. So I'm going to clean that up and then build this thing. Okay, and here I have him in all of his glory. Before I continue, I just want to say I have never watched or read Gundam Astray. I definitely need to know, because this is now my favourite looking Gundam. So starting by just kind of looking around him, he definitely looks nice. This is probably one of the simplest kits I've put together. My one big complaint about the design is that these arms just bug me sometimes. Just something about them just looks kind of off. I can't quite pinpoint my finger on what looks off, and I think there are definitely a couple of flaws in the look of this kit. Some of the stickers were painful as well, like that one in the back of the head there, if my phone's camera wants to focus. That one in the back of the head was a real pain to get in. It took about 3 attempts with my tweezers. But the sticker on the shoulder, that was perfectly fine to put on. These two as well, they're not hard to put on, they're just, there's not a lot of room around them. There's not a lot of room for air, but they're not exactly hard to put on. But no, the kit has good mobility. Some of the arms feel a little bit stiff when you're moving them, but as you can see, decent mobility there, good mobility there, and the shoulders move up and down. Probably the best hip mobility I've ever seen on a high grade kit, you know, in terms of that. Actually not hip, waist mobility, if you get what I mean. So let me see, I'm trying to do this one-handed. So yeah, like that's good. There's a lot of waist mobility on this guy, which I do like because I have a very specific pose. And I wanted to display them when I got this kit. There was one main reason I got this kit and one main reason I love this Gundam so much. But turn around to the back, you can see this kind of jetpack-ish unit that can fold down onto the bottom, which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't quite understand the function of it. It's probably something in the anime or manga about it. But coming into the feet, the ankle mobility is really good. And this thing has brilliant ankle mobility, I think. It's simple, but it just works. Everything about that. Let's see if I can bend the leg up. It's got about 90-degree rotation. It could be a little bit more, but for such a simple high-grade kit, I'd say that's good. Going back, it goes back to about, if I move this arm out of the way, it goes back to about there, and it goes forwards to there, coming out at that angle. So that's quite good. That's good. Now if we look at armaments and accessories, you can already see the main reason I bought this kit here. We'll start with the shield though, my least favourite. The sticker, easy to put on, very easy. My one big problem is just with this. I'm not a huge fan of this piece that connects it to the arm, and how if you want to connect it in a different way, because it connects in 2 ways to the arm. If I grab one of his arms here, I can show you. You can connect onto his arm like that. But then as well, I really do apologise, I do all of these reviews with just one hand, because I have to have a hand holding the phone for the camera. Put that there now. The other way it goes on, where it goes on the side of the arm, you have to swap that around, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm just not a huge fan of how that has to work. Doesn't bother me too much though. For missions, they're like that. I like to have them with the longer bit actually up top. I actually think they look quite good with that. But moving on to the rest of the armaments, we'll start over here with beam rifle. It's a beam rifle. There's literally nothing else to say about it. It's a beam rifle. That's it. There's a little sticker in there as well that was painful to put on, but probably the simplest weapon I have. And then looking back on the kit, back here there are beam sabers. I like the effect piece on these. You've got a nice camera wants to focus. I don't know if you can see up there. They've got a nice emission effect. If you give me just 2 seconds, I'm going to have to use 2 hands for this. That is slightly animate out. There we go. So yeah, beam saber. It's a beam saber. Now onto the fun stuff. Big katana. This was probably the most disappointing part of the kit for me. Just because of how plain it was. Like all of these sticker details on the saya, if I remember correctly. That's what this sheet is called for katana, the saya. That was all. I butchered the sticker sheet for that. That's not something that actually comes with the kit. I completely butchered the sticker sheet to do that. And then that katana is all just one piece, and I think I just broke it. Yep, hold up. 2 seconds. Put it back on, it's just the top there. So, looking at the katana, it's kind of what you would expect. Again, focus, damn it. Focus. I want to focus on small stuff in here. It's got kind of the design you'd expect though on the handle. I'm just annoyed that the cross guard, I forgot what this part's called, proper the katana. Just know the cross guard didn't come in gold at least. But I do have the master grade, no, not master grade, real grade version of this guy on the way, so that will be fun. Hopefully that will be slightly better. But for a very simple high grade kit, I really cannot complain about this. So this sword was definitely miniature. I just put that in the wrong way. I'm such a fucking idiot. In there. There we go. See. Oh, this is fun. I like this. I like just messing around with it myself. I'm breaking it evidently. There we go. But yeah, no, I do like this. But the first thing I saw, the first thing I thought when I saw this kind of thing was I could have him in like almost like a judgment cat kind of pose, if any of you played Devil May Cry. So I thought I could do that kind of thing. So let's see, can I get that back? Can I get the beam saber back on right now? Sorry about the camera angle. There we go, I can. Okay. So yeah, he's back. I'm slightly annoyed that the hands don't hold the sheath. He only has 3 hands. 2 of these closed hands, and then the gun hand, although the gun does have a little handle here, you can probably get the closed hand to hold it like that. So, one last thing I do have to say before I kind of run this off is about my big box of Gundam walls. I had this back when I started doing Gundam reviews. It was over there on that wall originally, but I moved it out to my bed because my room got redone. I changed the way I put them up. They no longer get pinned to the wall. They're stuck up with command strips now, so as soon as I get some of those, I will be putting them up because I have boxes to go up. I've got the inner box of my Perfect Green Zaku, which chills over here, and then I have a whole load of boxes up there. There's a whole load of birthday cards up there as well. I just did on them by accident. Yeah, there's boxes and boxes up there waiting to go up. I have a plan and we'll get some command strips at some point, then it'll go up. And then we'll put this guy back on the shelf and show you guys the pose I wanted him in. Okay, I'm posing just now, and I forgot to mention just a little bit about the foot can move. To live this kind of pose, the foot can move way forwards like that. And as well, there's a little peg here on the sword that can connect to there on his waist, so you can have that there. Now to put him on the shelf. Okay, I got him on the shelf. I don't know if you can see what I mean about the pose, but this kind of pose reminds me a lot of Virgil's Judgment Cut from Devil May Cry. And just whilst I was putting them up here, I realised how behind I am in my videos, because they are models that I've had for months at this point that I haven't reviewed. Like that gun tank sitting back there. Or this Master Grade RX-782. I also realised that I need a bigger box to keep all of my spare weapons in, because the place I currently keep them is getting full. I repaired a little Lego Millennium Falcon that my little brother threw down the stairs way back, and yeah, it's struggling to hold everything. I need to get a new box for all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there you go. You can see it with most of the rest of my high grade kits. Kasai's staying up there, he's too damn big. And then the bastard unicorn in the back. But no, I like him there. And I have his real grade on the way. I literally ordered him the 20 seconds before recording this. So, with that, I am gonna go because this video's done now. Fired back out.